your best defense. Use your hastily reply. The moment that you say you already regret it. So faded, like a memory gone. There's no recollection faded. So faded, like a forgotten dream, further than it seems.
It's somewhat hard to say the first records that I heard, because it would be like telling you the first food that I ate, really, or the first bird I heard sing, something like that. So it's difficult because there was music all the time at my house, in my home. There was always music, always a song, and a wide difference of styles of music. The first records that I played on my own, after hearing all the records that my mom and dad would play, was Jimi Hendrix. That was the first record I ever took the step towards playing on my own. Music's been calling at me since I was a kid, I think. I've always heard music strong in my heart. I got my first guitar when I was about 7. My mom showed me a few chords. She plays guitar and sings. My dad plays percussion. My grandmother plays and sings. She plays guitar, and she plays lap dulcimer. The thing about music today is they don't know the roots. They haven't listened to, you gotta, the stronger you know the root of soul music and the root of the music in which you're into, the stronger you can make your own foundation and tradition. You gotta know the roots. You gotta go back. And you gotta keep going back, because there's a lifetime's worth of music that you really gotta get into now so you can get a part of it in.
Comes from the gospel scene. Now you may leave tomorrow, and you may leave today, but gospel when you start out on your way. That's the power of the gospel. That's the power of the gospel. That's the power of the mighty power. That's the power of the gospel. Yeah, that's the power of the mighty gospel. Oh, inside of you. I say inside of you. And inside of me. Yeah, that's the power of the mighty, mighty power of gospel.
Playing live for me is really the best part of my day. It's the best part of, it's one of the best parts of my life. It's something I really, really enjoy. It's really like making a record every night. It strengthens you and prepares you to go into the studio. You know, a year and a half of playing live, you can bring that right into the studio, and you definitely see a growth when you've toured for so long. Come off the road, go into the studio, and you can do things that you couldn't do before, which is really exciting. But I'm not rushing, man. I'm not in a hurry, because it'll keep growing. The music's just always gonna be growing. So I don't even need to think about that part. I just need to focus on keeping the music strong, really. When I play, I go somewhere. You know what I mean? I go somewhere. I don't know where. And really, it's where you are in your mind. I might be in a hotel room, but I'm not in a hotel room. I'm wherever my mind takes me. I might be on a bus, but I'm really not on a bus. I'm wherever my mind needs to be to find its comfort to make music.
Choice is what I choose to do, and if I'm causing no harm, it shouldn't bother you. And your choice is who you choose to be, and if you're causing no harm, you're all right with me. If you don't like my fire, then don't come around. 'cause I am gonna burn one down. Oh yes, we are gonna burn one down. From the earth is of Jah greatest worth. So before you knock it, try it first. Oh, you'll see it's a blessing, no, it's not a curse. If you don't like my fire, then don't come around, 'cause I'm gonna burn one down. Yes, we are gonna burn.
When people first started hearing this music, the business people, they didn't think it had a youthful potential. In the record companies, they really didn't think. They said, oh, this is more like music for the older people, because they say young people today, they're not interested in lyrics or anything like that. They don't care, you know. And I said, no, but they do care. Don't say that, you know, because I was only 23 at the time, and all my friends cared. You know what I mean? I said, what are you know, why would you say that? And but I heard that a lot. I heard that a lot. JP and I heard that quite a bit. Oh, we'll have to sell this to, you know, Bob Dylan fans, you know, the older fans and stuff. I said, no, man, no. I mean, they can listen too, that's great. But the youth, this is youth's music. And so we had to take it upon ourselves, because at the time, the record company really didn't quite know where to market the music. Although in France they did. In France, they knew what was up, I have to say. I have to give credit where credit is due. They were like, yeah, this is, you know. So in the States, you know, we said, okay, well, we're going to open up for, you know, the Fugees. We're going to open up for Luscious Jackson. We're going to open up for PJ Harvey. We're going to open up for Dave Matthews, Pearl Jam, to show them that this is, you know, youth music. So we did all that. The Far Side, the Roots, and just kept doing that, you know, and just, you know, it's growing. It just keeps growing. And I'm really thankful for that. I'm just thankful, man, every day.
Writes lyrics that afterwards you can actually sit down and analyze his lyrics and try to understand what it is he's saying. Now, there's things where you can say, hey, let's party and have a good time and write a song about that. That's great. We all need that. But it's also great to have an individual who writes something that makes you think, makes you wonder, question things that are going on in the world, as opposed to just glossing it over and saying, well, life stinks and so does my mother. You know, that you have that type of thing. But lyrically, he writes very great and in-depth lyrics. And musically, it is just so different for me from what I'm used to hearing. Just watching him play and getting the different sounds from the guitars, from the Weizenborns, it is so great. I haven't seen anyone, at least to this point, other than him, that's doing things like that.
I find that his songs are spiritual a lot of times, you know. And me coming from church and being playing in church all my life. When I got with Ben, you know, a lot of bands don't have this spiritual thing about the songs. And the band itself is very spiritual. You know, we pray a lot together. And it comes through the music as well. Give a man a home, that kind of thing, you know. Like I said, I'm just glad to be a part of this. It's such a positive move for me. Played in a lot of different bands, but, you know, this one really means something to me, so.
For me, the music, it moves me. I mean, playing drums to these tunes, it's a lot of fun. Plus, it's so many different, it's very diverse. I mean, there's different grooves, like, you know, we play reggae, funk, kind of rock and roll. There's so many different styles.
Do the heaviest, so many shall do none. You have got to stand firm, so many run. Some they rest their head at night, some get no sleep at all. If you listen close to what you see, you will hear it call. Jah Works, Jah Works, Jah Works. Was never, Jah Works. Oh, Jah Works, Jah Works. Is never. Was never, is never, oh, is never, oh, is never, ever done, ever done. Oh, Jah Works.
There's Bob Marley and then there's reggae music. Bob spoke to everyone, really. Bob, there's a little bit of everyone in Bob Marley, you know, and in a Bob Marley song. And I think Bob, I mean, I think that I'm pretty well grounded. You know, I'm as grounded as the next guy. I mean, my head's on pretty straight, you know what I mean? And you know, probably have a relatively realistic view from where I'm coming from. But I know that Bob Marley was more than just a man. I know he represented in his life a living God. No fanaticism. I don't mean, you know what I mean? I don't mean to, but I know what I know, you know, I mean, and that I know.
And then people will fight you down when you see Jah lights. But let me tell you, if you're not wrong, then everything is all right. We're gonna walk through this generation, live in Babylon, but we tried through this generation in this exodus. Waltzing movement of Jah people, yeah. In this exodus, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Movement of Jah people, yeah. is never, ever done.
Man, if people can get this much from a song that I've written, that they would get in one of Bob's songs, then that means that I'm doing something right. You know, I mean, if I can communicate even this much of the feeling that he could, I'm doing okay.
The streets, to them we are fair game. Our lives don't mean a thing. Like a king, like a king, like a king. Rodney King, Rodney King, Rodney King. Like a king, like a king, like a king. You could help us, Dr. King. Make sure that it's filmed, shown on national TV. They will have no mercy, a legal lynch mob, like the day strung up from the tree. The LAPD. Like a king, like a king, like a king. Rodney King, Rodney King, Rodney King. Like a king, like a king, like a king. How I wish that you could help us, Dr. King.
What's amazing is when you look at Dr. King, he breathed peace. You know what I mean? He breathed peacefulness. For every being, every look he gave you, every walk, everything was peace. Everything was a prayer for him. And that's really where you want to get to. You want to get to everything. When I pick up my hat and I put it on my head, that's a prayer. When I brush my teeth, that's a prayer. Every move in life should really be a prayer. And when you reach that place, I think that's a place where that's a road less traveled. I think he's the greatest man, one of the greatest, most peaceful, truly peaceful beings that the earth has ever known. And it's important that that voice of peace always exists in every generation, because sometimes peace seems like the underdog. I don't know why, and I don't know how humanity has worked itself into this corner. Peace is now something that is taken far less serious than violence. Violence has almost become human nature, and peacefulness has almost become a myth. I think, aren't we better than that? Aren't we better than that? To buy into such a violent element of our species, you know. I mean, it's, you know, we've got, you know, we split an atom, we got all this computer technology, and we can't even get along. What good is it if we can't even communicate and coexist peacefully? All that advancement and all that technology means nothing if we can't live in peace, really. So the greatest technological advancement in the world is peace. All these scientists, they don't impress me going to Mars. Why go to Mars and fuck Mars up? You know what I mean? Why go to Mars and do that? What, you're gonna treat Mars like we treat the Earth? Come on. We need to get it together here. Spend the money getting it together here before we spend all that money going to destroy another place. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense to me. So all these scientists, if they want to impress me personally, they'll find some way to tap into that peaceful vibration and spread that. That's technology to me. All computers and faxes and cell phones and stuff. It's great, you know, but it doesn't impress me like peace does. And I may sound ridiculous, man. You know, because when a man comes and talks about peace, you know, people just, they don't, it's so far apart. It seems like we're so far separated from that consciousness. People think, oh, there's Ben Harper, he's talking about peace or something. Man, what, you know. And it's not often I talk about it publicly because, again, it's a fragile, fragile subject. But you got to talk about that. You just got to keep talking about it. This one is a Weissenborn. It's a Kona style Weissenborn. The Weissenborn traditionally has a hollow neck. So the neck is, it's hollow all the way up from the body. This is all hollow. All the way up and down the back and the top. And this is the traditional Weissenborn. This one's probably about 1925 to 1930, anywhere between there. It's around the time when he stopped making them. You can tell because this one has a smaller bridge. This bridge is longer, it's wider here, and he had this bridge here probably from the start. Actually, the earliest Weissenborns have a bridge that's longer than this one. This is called the bridge of the instrument. So this bridge dates this particular guitar, and it's a different finish as well. You can see this one's quite shiny. This one's quite, it's dull. It's satin gloss is what they call it. And this one's probably about 5 to 10 years earlier than this one. Here, this one's a little bit older. And the reason they call this one a Kona is to differentiate it from the traditional Weissenborn. I think what he was going for on the Kona, the Weissenborn you can't play like this at all. There's no frets, just markers. It's only a lap slide guitar. And you can't play bottleneck slide on this guitar because it's too bulky. You can't get around and you can't get up to the important 12th fret because you gotta reach. It's really uncomfortable. So this is the Kona, and he built this with a hollow neck, halfway, then halfway with a standard neck. So if you wanted to, you could lower this, which is called the nut. You could lower that down, and you could play regular guitar with chords because it has frets, this one. You could chord it up the neck and still have somewhat of a hollow neck sound. Now, since it's not all the way hollow, he deepened the body. As you can see, this one's much deeper than the Weissenborn to sort of make up for the resonance lost from the half-hollow neck. And it's quite a different sound. So Weissenborn made some different models, and he experimented a lot. This one's a teardrop-shaped Weissenborn, or a pear-shaped Weissenborn with a hollow neck. There are very few of these. Very few. I know of 3, including this one here. This one is not a Weissenborn, but it's a copy. This one is this is new. This is called a Canopus. And there are a few makers, quite a few makers now, that are remaking the Weissenborn, and this is one of them. It's called a Canopus. None of the new ones really sound like the originals, though. This one sounds really good. This is a good sounding one. But this wood, since the guitars were built in the 19-teens, in the 1920s, the wood is probably 100 years older than the date it was built, 50 to 100 years. So it gets the older the wood, I found, the better the sounding instrument. The older the wood, the better the sound from the instrument. I keep this one with me a lot. This is really the first one I've played. You can see where my arm rests. It's getting sweating away here. And I'm tearing up the fingerboard, you know, just starting to dig a hole in them, but this is the one that I've really grown with and do the most recording with. Welcome to the Cruel World, and Give a Man a Home was recorded with this one, and God-Fearing Man was recorded with this one, and Ground on Down. A lot of recordings have been done with this one.
Innocent Criminals. Ben came up with this name. For me, it means I identify with it because being black in America and where I'm from, a lot of times the local authorities will almost look at you as guilty before you've even, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I hate to say it's true. It's true. So we have this attitude where you know, you're a criminal, but you're innocent. You know, it wasn't me. I'm telling you. So that's how that came about. You know, I think it's a pretty unique name. Kind of dig it.
So many people to love in my life. Why do I worry about one? But you put the happy in my nest. You put the good times into my fun. And it's so hard to, so easy to say. But sometimes you just have to walk away, turn and head for the door. We've tried the goodbye so many days. We walk in the same direction so that we would never stray. They say if you love somebody, you've got to set them free. But I would rather be locked to you than live in this pain in me. Here's a me. And they say time will make all this go away. But it's time that has taken my tomorrows and turned them into yesterdays. And once again, that rising sun is dropping on down. And once again, you, my friend, are nowhere to be found. And it's so hard to do, it's so easy to say. But sometimes you have to walk away. Away. You just walk away. Turn and head for the door. Walk away. Just walk away.
What I want for the young people is what I want for myself and what I want for the world. A lot of people might call my views unrealistic. You know how people don't want to believe. Nobody wants to believe today. You got to believe. You got to believe. Because, you know, I mean, people are definitely killing themselves on all kinds of different levels all around the world. And humanity seems to be feeding off of some kind of energy that I don't want anything to do with, you know? So I just keep that out of my life. I just keep that part. I try.
How shall we tomorrow find? Set aside our waiting soon, so that we can live again. And my legs no longer carry, and the one with your reach for Mother Mary. I shall not walk alone. I shall not walk alone.
I really feel most comfortable in the world with my guitar. That's where I feel most comfortable, when I'm with guitar and writing. I mean, I survive with a guitar or without a guitar. You know, I'd do what I have to do, but without the guitar, I wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be me at this point in my life.
Brother, sister, family, and friend. I fear with each day past, our time grows closer to the end. Listen, stranger, passerby, those I never knew. There's not one day that you are living that has been promised to you. And I am a God